Hey, that's GMC's Antonio Cutz.
And Henny Z, the Queen of the Pacific North motherfucking West.
It's time to turn this shit up and chop it up.
Chop it up and not. Wait, no, that shit. You fucked me up.
It's time to turn it. What I said again? Hey, this is GMC's Antonio Cutz.
And Henny Z, the Queen of the Pacific.
It's time. Man, you about to say all kind of shit. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. Turn it up a notch and chop it up. Hey, this is Antonio Cutz, GMC.
And Henny Z, the Queen of the Pacific Northwest.
It's time to turn this shit up a notch and chop it up.
Chop it the fuck up.
Chop it up. Okay, don't say shit. Hey, this is Antonio Cutz.
And what the fuck? You didn't say GMC.
You don't say it either. Hey, yo, this GMC's Antonio Cutz.
And Henny Z, the Queen of the Pacific Northwest.
It's time to turn it up a notch and chop it up.
Chop that shit the fuck out.
Word.
Turn me up!
We be going over time.
What them haters are saying. Tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
They gon' make me ride on this one, nigga.
We be going over time.
Get 'em.
We be going over time. We be going over time.
Hey, tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
Tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
Y'all gon' make me come out.
Chop it up. What's going on, y'all? You know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Sos Dior with the Chop It Up podcast. Man, I know it's been a while since we've had some artists on the show, so I thought it would be great to bring back one of our best celebrities on the show, Mr. Antonio Cutz from GMC. And we also got special guest today, Henny Z. But first off, before we get started, I just got to say, man, I appreciate everything you did with your episode. He's actually the first artist to hit 5,000 views on his podcast interview. So for those of you who've been on the show and you only got 15 views, shame on you motherfuckers. We done work way too hard to be out here pushing you guys, for y'all not to be sharing it and letting people know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, welcome to the show, you guys. I really appreciate having you guys on the show. What's going on today?
Not much. I'm just chilling. I'm having a good time already.
Okay.
Just started.
Word up. Man, all right, so y'all gotta understand, see, it's been kind of a long day. They kind of in quiet mode right now. I'm gonna need them to get turned up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Grab a drink or do something, but yeah, so like, truthfully, I mean, there's a lot to talk about since the last time you've been on the show. Yeah. But first, let's start with introducing Henny. Henny, let everybody know where you're from and what hood you rep, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, he's so funny. My name is Henny Z. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now. So, yeah.
Okay.
And I work with GMC. My fault.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So check it out, y'all. Y'all know I rep my city, so you gotta let them know like where, like what part of Washington are you? Are you repping Silverdale? Are you repping Tacoma? Are you repping Vancouver?
South Seattle.
Hey, say with some energy. Hey, we from South Seattle, y'all.
We're from South Seattle.
Thank you. You gotta let them know. I'm from Skyway. I let them know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because a lot of times people ask me, "Hey, where are you from?" Hey, I'm from Skyway.
Yeah.
You know, you heard it on the show. It was about the only time I ever mentioned it. I'm from Skyway. You know what I'm saying? All right. So Henny, what right now? I know you got a lot of new music coming out. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that people should be like expecting? Because like, okay, here's the crazy thing about Facebook, y'all. We all have a lot of people who follow us, right? But a lot of times we don't always interact with them, or we don't see like what shows up in their posts, right? But it's because of like the way the algorithms work and all that bullshit. So truthfully said, me and Henny actually have been on Facebook for a while now, but I didn't realize that. So Cutz was shooting a video for a Yah remix he was doing, and Henny popped up and was part of the song. So I was like, yo, who's this? And he's like, yo, this is Henny Z, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I'm starting to connect the two and two. So I was like, hey, well, let me know your Instagram. Let me know all your socials. Come to find out, I was already following her. And I'm like, hold on, pause. Like, how are you on my friends list and I'm not seeing your posts? Because for those of you who know, I try to tap in with everybody. If you got a show going on, I'm going to show up, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to support artists, you know, other photographers, videographers, whatever you guys got going on. I really do make an effort to try to be there. So with that being said, like, with all the music you got going on, okay, so first off, before we actually, I want to step back because there's a lot to talk about. Yeah. When you guys did the Yah remix, like what kind of inspired that? How did you guys like decide to pick that song to redo it, or like how did you guys come about that?
Actually, another artist. I was doing it for another artist.
Okay.
Another artist is not with us no more. You know what I mean? And that was like, ooh, you know, I think it'd be dope because the song's cracking. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? This little. I see different versions of it, and so I was like, you know what? This might be that second look. Like when I do a lot of mixtape stuff to get that second look. I want people to see what my style is when I spit. You know what I mean? We're on that track. So it didn't pan out right. And so I was like, I don't want to keep going to the studio and trying to put some stuff down and it's not working out. So I said, you know what? So it's just crazy because when one left, 2, 3 came in. You know what I'm saying? Not left, but when situations got ugly in the situation, okay, this is over here now, but this over here, and it was like a better situation. So you know, Henny's style, I wanted Henny on it because of her style. Style's crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, you know what? And I respect, I always tell people, you know what I'm saying, all the time, man, you know, talent. A lot of people don't have a particular talent or a sound. And I think every 10 years, someone may sound similar to somebody else and they take it to another level. You know, Sean sound like Biggie. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he took it to another level where I mean, shit happened in his career, but he took it to another level where it was his sound. Like it was like, you know, like but a lot of people when they hear certain people that sound like somebody, they make it their own down the line to where it's like when I first heard, I didn't like Fab when I first heard Fab, but he reminded me of Jigga / Mace. So I kept hearing Jigga and Mace, you know, but everybody has people that inspire him. So when I heard him back when he first came, I Can't Deny It and all that kind of stuff like that, I was like, he trying to be, you know what I mean? But then he came into his own. So by the time Make You Better and all that stuff and Breathe and all that came out, I was like, oh, this is crazy. You know what I mean? So I had to learn that you can't help what your tone is. Your tone is your tone. So if you have a particular accent, a particular tone, people will think you sound familiar to somebody because of your tone and your accent. With Henny, when I heard her spit, I still don't know to this day. I still don't know who referred me to. Someone's like Henny, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't know who it was. So I was showing people like Henny. I was like, I'm showing people the old artists and the situations, new artists and shit like that. I'm like, yo, Henny. So they're like, you gotta see what's up with Henny. And when I was impressed when I heard Henny, you know what I mean? And so I was stuck on the Seattle's Most Hated. I was stuck on that song to where I didn't want to hear nothing else. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be like that. With the studio, was it with Rock? Did Rock tell you that sometimes when I hear something, it's hard for me to so Rock know me. So Rock was like, listen, when he hears something, sometimes he can't unhear it. Okay. I can't unhear it. So if I hear something, that's what it is right now. That's what it is right now. Something else might be fire right here, but I can't hear it right now because it's so fire. So right now, this is where we at. So when I heard Seattle's Most Hated, I was like, this is crazy. And so moving forward, I contacted Henny. He was like, yo, I can't remember. Silly saying Sauce's Head told me to contact you, and I'm contacting you. And so I gave her the spiel of what I had going on, and I wanted to be a part of what we had going on. So she told me her spiel, what she had going on, and from that point right there, it was really cool. You know, I think so far I'm living up my promises as far as what I wanted to do, working with her and be a part of GMC. I don't want no one who can't spit on GMC. If you can't spit, I don't want you on GMC. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was dope to her being a young lady that was crafty with her wordplay. That was impressive to me, her craftiness. So that's where right there. I mean, I guess maybe she could tell you a little bit more from that point on how we went there, but you know.
So good segue. So I've heard you spit a couple of different tracks.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to figure out like how you created your sound, because like the younger generation of rappers kind of have like a specific style. But like I know, like you said that like you were more East Coast influenced with like, you know, Jigga and stuff like that. So how did you, like as you were writing, like how did you create your sound? Because I don't feel like you sound like a Jigga, but you don't sound like a younger generation. So you kind of are like your style is very unique.
Yeah.
but it's like you can sprinkle a couple of those like little, you know what I'm saying, like the younger generation tactics or like cadence and delivery, but that's not really you. Like you don't come off like them. Like you actually have like, so to put it into perspective, like she was working on a song, and I'm not sure if it was called Suicidal, but
Seattle's Most Hated.
oh, that's Seattle's Most Hated. Okay, got it. So like, you know, in her lyrics and stuff, you know, she was talking about like in her hook, she was like suicidal, and like that's not a topic that most artists would even really try to approach.
Right.
So like, not only do you have like this like Seattle unique sound that's your own, but you also incorporate different topics that most artists would never want to touch because it's too controversial or whatever. So kind of walk us through like how you created your sound as far as like lyrically, you know, like when you say you like Jigga, was it like the lyrics, was it the video, like how, like if you had to describe your sound, how would you describe it?
I would say when it comes to like who I would sound like, you know, it would be like Jigga and Mozzie mixed together.
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean? But like younger Mozzie, you know, not Mozzie now because he switched his style up. But yeah, Jigga and Mozzie. And I try to make it into like a Henny Z flow, you know what I mean? That way it was like my own personal. That way when people say like, oh, you sound like so-and-so, it'd be like, oh, you sound like Henny Z. You know what I mean? So that's what mainly that came from. Especially I'm young, I'm 23 right now, so you know what I mean? I was like, I know what they want to hear, so let me add a little bit of that in with the suicidal. I'm not scared to, you know what I mean, spit on the track, whatever I'm talking about, you know what I mean? And a lot of people can relate to what I'm talking about because I'm not talking about necessarily suicide, you know what I mean? But how people be like crash outs and stuff like that, like everybody's suicidal is like when it came to, you know, that lifestyle, so that's what
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I think she's saying the opposite of suicidal. The opposite.
I'm not suicidal.
The opposite of suicidal for fronting. You know what I mean? So that's what she's saying. You know, so
they crash
just to be clear,
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Like, I'll be honest, because like my career was in Canada originally, so like I missed out on like the Mozzie movement. So like, how did that all come about for you? Like, was there a particular song, or was it just like his swag, or like how did that come about?
I liked his wordplay and like how he was able to like make up his own word, but you understood what he was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, but not only just that, like his song "Blah Da Da," like it was something like growing up in that era. You know what I mean? Like you hearing this type of music and you like, oh, I can relate to that. "Blah Da Da" happened to be one of the songs I could relate to, so it was fire. You know? Still is.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I ain't even gonna catch it. I've never heard the song, but I'm gonna do my research. You know what I'm saying? Because like the artists here were very different from what they were pushing in Canada. So like the best way to explain it is like I missed out like on a whole generation of rap because like Drake was really big. You know what I'm saying? So like the style of artists that were coming out were very different. So when I came back to the States, it was like, oh, hold on, who's this? Like, okay, so kind of give you a little bit of background. So like, when I first came back to the States, well, a lot of you guys know I was a DJ before I became an artist. So like, part of what was crazy was I got asked to DJ this warehouse event. So I'm like, all right, cool, not a problem. Well, it happened to be Nipsey Hussle in the house. So Nipsey walks on stage, right? And they're like, there's a packed out warehouse. And I'm like, damn, like who's this packing out a warehouse, right? like we was out in like Monroe or Woodinville somewhere, right? And I'm like, hold on. And so sure enough, he like they dropped his beat and the crowd goes bananas. And I'm like, yo, who is this guy? Because I don't know who he is. And they was like rapping his lyrics and everything. And they was like, yo, you don't know who Nipsey is? And I was like, nah, like I'm not hip to him because in Canada, I never heard of him. So, fast forward the tape, it was like, when in his passing, it was like, wow, I'm sitting here with one of the best artists to come out of the United States, not even knowing it. And I had a chance to, like, literally, we was this close to each other. And I never actually said what's up to him. I never got his contact info. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, I'm still like, I was still struck like crazy because I'm trying to figure out like, how do all these people know his music and I don't, and I'm a DJ. Like, I was like, whoa, like I was just like, it was crazy for me. So, so fast forward, it's kind of been surreal because it was like, man, I had a chance to really work with Nipsey and not even realizing like who he was and what he became to be and how legendary he was. You know what I'm saying? So like, So for me, it was like, you know, like when you mentioned like Mozzie and stuff, I'm just like, I know, like I've seen their face, but I don't know their music well enough to be like, oh yeah, I know this song, and you know, so like it's crazy. So thank you for sharing that. So outside of Seattle's most hated, what other songs are kind of like your babies that the fans should get to like? If you had to pick your top 3 songs that, okay, let me back up. As artists, we all know like every song has special meaning, but like if someone's never heard your music before, what would be those first 3 songs that you'd be like, hey, here's the introduction to me, learn these 3 first before you step into these other ones?
Okay. I would have to say Why, Dreaming, and Gang Member. Only because with Gang Member, if you're looking for like that Mozzie, like to identify what I'm talking about, that really shows a lot, you know what I mean? And then with Why, I'm bringing that Seattle flow with the jazz, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, and then Dreaming, I'm just keeping it 100, like how Jigga is able to storytell, and you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's what that brings, so those 3.
Okay. Is that like how, like, what songs like did you gravitate to when you first was like, yo, Henny, let's work together?
As far as her, I didn't hear the Mozzie situation until someone said Mozzie.
Okay.
Then I said, okay, I can, you know what I'm saying? Now, like, okay, I hear a little, you know, because usually when I hear someone, I can hear who influenced them. I can kind of tell who influenced them. Like, even I can kind of tell who influenced you a little bit. I hear a little Jada in you. You know what I mean? I hear, you know, I hear a little Locks in you, you know what I mean? And, I hear East Coast, you know what I'm saying, when I hear you. So, I heard East Coast off the top, you know what I mean? But it was, and then, you know, okay, Young M.A., you know, they have a similarity. You have a similarity, although she's her own entity, you know what I'm saying? I hear a little Young M.A., you know what I mean? The delivery is different. The delivery is completely different, but their tone is similar. So that's why I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And like sometimes, I just told someone the other day, I just was talking to some cat the other day, a couple days ago, he came through and he was showing me some work he did, and he had Be Legit's tone, but he's way more lyrical than Be Legit. Be Legit's kind of like real simple, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to disrespect Be Legit, but he has more of a simpler flow. It's kind of like, you know, but this cat was more technical with his flow, but his tone was his tone would Be Legit. So with Henny, it wasn't, I'm gonna keep it 100. It wasn't so much that he sounded East Coast to me. What she does, it was basically she had an orthodox way of understanding, as we've used before, anything you got going, you say IQ, which means, you know, basketball IQ, hip hop IQ. Her IQ in hip hop is crazy. So it doesn't necessarily, like my friend Rock, you know what I'm saying, Rock Fizzle. Rock Fizzle is not from the East, he's from the West Coast. His IQ is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people who has a higher IQ in hip hop will probably more likely sound East Coast, i.e. Raz Kaz, i.e. The Game. You know, these cats have an East Coast flow. You only can tell that they're from the West Coast because of the stuff that they're saying, their topics. Right. You know what I mean? So when you have a person who really loves to rap, a lot of times you hear a cat who really loves hip hop, they technically have more of a East Coast flow because it's orthodox. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean they don't love where they're from. It doesn't mean they don't love them. It just means that they love hip hop and they understand its origin. So they implement that in their style. You know what I mean? They implement that style. It's almost like this. I look like this. If a person has a Benz and it's beautiful, this beautiful Benz, this beautiful, but they gut it out and put a Yugo body in there, it's kind of like, and this is where a lot of people start talking about like the mumble rappers, or when someone comes out with a new style that, and I don't mean to even say it like that because some of that stuff's fly. Some of it's fly, you know what I mean? Some of it's fly. I think it's a feeling. I think hip hop has became more of a feeling now than it used to be. You know what I'm saying? A feeling, a vibe.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming to that. Because every time I hear new music, like every time I hear new music, I'm hearing stuff. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I can get someone to listen to what I got and like it and enjoy what I'm saying. But the style sometimes seems to some cats that are real young dated. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, this is not dated. You know what I'm saying? This is not dated. But you have some cats that be, you You be like, man, they be like, this is the shit right here. You know what I mean? This is fly right here. And I be like, okay, I guess so. I'm not gonna do this, do that. That's not my thing. So I just try to be real slick with the tongue and slick what I say. And they're saying it's not my thing to be zipping around. You know what I'm saying? That's not my thing.
Truthfully, it's not, for me, it's not even a matter of being dated. It's a matter of they haven't expanded their ear to hear something other than that particular style. And the reason I say that is because, like, I was hanging around some YNs, and they was I don't know who the artist was, but apparently he was like a well-known artist, right? Mm-hmm. And the song I'm listening to, you know, he's rapping, he's spitting about bitches, he's talking about guns, he's talking about, like, he's all over the place with his bars. Mm-hmm. And they was like, yo, this is the shit. And I said, he ain't said nothing. Mm-hmm. And they was like, what you mean he ain't said nothing? I'm like, what did he like, hip hop was about coming from poverty and, like, growing up in the hood and struggling and having a message to say. And like, when you look at all of the pioneers of rap, the LL Cool J's, the Raz Kaz, the EPMDs, the Queen Latifahs, like, all of these artists never spit gun bars. Like, don't get me wrong, they might have had like a reference now and then, but the Heavy D's of the world, they never spit gun bars. So it's like when people talk about, like, oh man, he's saying something, I'm like, all right, I'm like, yo, he started off with gun bars, then he went to talking about fucking bitches, then he's talking about sliding in the car, now he's back to talking about gun bars, now he's talking about bitches again. He ain't saying nothing, because if he was saying something, he would have been able to tell his story from, hey, I went from guns to cars, and it would flow, but not bouncing around. And to make it even worse, the song was like 4.5, 5 minutes long, and he never even had a hook.
So let me interview for a minute. So my thoughts on that is that, of course, when hip hop was created, it was storytelling. So you had storytelling, and then you had a cast that was spitting off the top. When people rap off the top, people interpret it as freestyling. It's not freestyling. Freestyling is kind of like free of style. Freestyling is when someone just raps and they just kind of like looking at certain things, and they just and or they rap and they're telling they're kind of like when Lil Wayne came out with what year was it when he came out with all the mixtapes. Mm. And we came out with all the mixtapes, like the whole Something Before Lollipop album came out. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff was free of style. It was dope what he was saying, but he really didn't have no story topics. Mm-hmm. He just is going. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that it started off as storytelling, but then it went into free of style, not off the top of the head. I'm talking about free of style. And free of style means you just flowing. You just whatever come on top or whatever you start writing, you're just going. And it sounds good. And I do that a lot now. Mm-hmm. I don't have a lot of stories. I have a lot of freestyle songs, and people think, oh, because you're, like I said, because of Freestyle Friday and stuff, that's just freestyle. No, freestyle is what someone might say is freestyle is off the top of their head. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I believe telling a story is a little bit more difficult than being freestyle. I can be more slick talk. I can talk more slick with being freestyle when I rhyme. So when I hear these new cats, what happens, you understand, when I respect it because some of the younger new cats have a lingo that's not my lingo no more. Mm-hmm. So this is where I come and say, well, damn, maybe it's outdated because I don't know some of the lingo. You know what I'm saying? Some of the new lingo. So when these young cats are hearing the lingo, they relate to it. So what happens is it's kind of, that's why some people say hip hop's a young man's game, because of the fact that every year people, in school, they have new slangs, they got new clothes, they got new this, they got new, everything's new. So when you have everything new and you want to be up on the latest, whoever the cat is that makes something sound slick with whatever's going around their surroundings, he's gonna be slick to them. But there's someone who's not in school or not in college or not in this or that, what these young cats doing, we're gonna have a lack of understanding.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a lack of this understanding where I try to understand. So right now I'm to the point now when I hear some of the young stuff, but ooh, you know what I'm saying? Okay. When they first started coming out, it caught me off guard. You know what I'm saying? Like the Migos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I wasn't feeling none of that. I ain't gonna front. As time went by, I started, I understand what they're doing and they're doing their own thing, or whatever the case may be. I hear stuff now when I hear certain people spit that's completely different from my style, completely different from, because of course this thing was hip hop was about being original.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to sound like this cat. You don't want to sound like that cat. You want to sound as much as like yourself as you can. So someone call you with a biter and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. So you want to be as original as possible. Now you have so now we can't hate on the cat that's super original who's doing his own thing. I remember when Common Sense came out. He sounded just like who did he sound like? He sounded like them cats, Daz Effects. When he first came out, he was Common Sense. And I remember when he first came out, I'm listening to this cat, you know, he's doing this Daz Effect. He actually went into his own and started not doing it anymore. But if you look up Common Sense, his first album, Can I Borrow a Dollar, he sounded like Daz Effects. And then you had certain people like which you know Daz Effects, right? Moving on along, I'm not gonna front, man. I'm starting to respect a lot of the youngsters because they're forcing me to. You know what I'm saying? Because I could feel something. When I'm feeling something, I'm rocking. Just like when I first heard Rakim, when I first heard Cool G Rap, when I first heard these cats, I'm feeling it. Now I'm seeing who's vibing to what, and I'm like, damn, I gotta respect them. They got people vibing. They got people vibing.
Hey, but I don't think that. I think their vibe is different because, truthfully, it's like, okay, so like for you, right? You said you listen to Mozzie. Mozzie had his own swag. I feel like a lot of these new artists, though, they rap about the same subjects. Their beats sound the same. They're using the exact same samples. There's no originality at all. Like, I think, am I you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, truthfully, if there was a young artist that sounded different, like, hey, look, I put it like this. If they were using the exact same beat, but they was talking about a poker hand, right, and playing cards, I'd be like, ooh, he came off different. Hold on, let me rerun that. But when they're just talking about the gun bars and, oh, I'm beating this pussy up and da-da, I'm like, bro, like, that's
so not... It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if I could make it sound, taking the shit sound interesting. It's not what you're saying. If I say something, try to make a person laugh, I'll go, oh, that was crafty how he said it. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if he's talking about a gun, it doesn't matter if he's talking about some pussy, it don't matter what. If you find a creative way to say what you're saying, that's where creative. We can't. I used to be like that too. Oh, they're just talking about this, it's just about that. And then I learned after a while, like, you know, whatever it is, he made that shit sound crafty. So we can't. I think. Okay. I used to get hung up on the topic.
No, but I'm not saying it's just the topic. I'm just saying, like, overall, right? Like, obviously, there's only so many subjects in the world, right? But my thing is like, their beats sound the same. Like, I'll put it like this. I'm in Cali a couple months ago, right? And I just happened to have the radio on, and literally it was playing like 5 or 6 songs that if you didn't know the name of the artist, you thought it was just a run-on song that lasted like 25 minutes. Yeah. Because you couldn't tell apart where the change was, the transition from one song to the next artist, and it felt like a 25-minute long song. And I was like, damn. I was starting to wonder, because I'm sitting there driving, and I'm like, damn, did we put it on repeat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to your point,
I feel that way about some people too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect.
But I'm gonna keep it 100. I feel that about someone who's really famous right now.
Okay.
And I'm not even gonna go and put his name out there, but I'm like, God,
pick that nigga. I want to know what you're talking about.
I'm just like, God damn, is a remix of the last song? I mean, I'm not gonna go there, man. But I'm like, because the dude, I mean, I might get hated on for just saying it, but man, I'd be like, man, dude, please. I mean, every song is like another, and you said his name earlier, so let's leave it there. You said his name earlier, and so how about that as a hint? You said his name earlier, I'm like, damn, this dude, please. You know what I'm saying? Please, enough. But he's dope. I'm gonna keep one. He's dope. It's just to sometimes just be saturated with his. And I'm just talking about topics. I'm tired of his topics. Yeah. And saying I can't relate to his topics. I can't relate to hating on the next dude and telling the dude's girl why he treated you bad and he did this to you. I'm not. Listen, B. I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make me say his name, so we're gonna leave. Go ahead.
All right. So with that being said, like, what are your 3 favorite topics, and what are your favorite 3 topics to talk about on a record?
I don't even know if I have a favorite topic. It's whatever I'm feeling. I like. Okay. topic. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm a dude. I'm a man's man. I mean, I'm a man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do a lot of simpy types. Like we had an artist. All they wanted to do was man bash, and I was like, oh my god. Well, I can go who that person is. You know what I'm saying? Their topics want to be just bashing dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm not with that. Another reason why I like Henny ain't be bashing dudes. You know, she might talk about situation, but you know, this bashing dudes ain't shit. Nigga can't do nothing but do this. Nigga, I mean, I can't stand that because at the end of the day, I understand you trying to make a way, but sometimes like you want to do something to where something for you. Here you go, talking about the same thing everybody else talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You could do something that has nothing to do with just your topic wants to be just bashing dudes. Mm-hmm. How could, you know what I'm saying? That's probably why, you know, some people don't even have a significant other because of the fact they listen to people talk about how niggas ain't shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dudes ain't shit, niggas ain't shit. And when niggas be really trying to make a motherfucker be good, nigga ain't shit too. I don't give a fuck how a nigga be me good, nigga ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, goddamn, you have a bunch of bitches, oh my God, niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But without that nigga, some of these bitches be in a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Be in a fucked up situation. So I really despise any nigga ain't shit. Like when I hear women spit and they're spitting and all of this about how nigga ain't shit, I ain't trying to hear it. So that's a topic. But again, at the same time, I've heard women that will tell their story about niggas ain't shit. It'd be so fly, I can't deny it. Mm-hmm. But don't be no weak ass rapping motherfucker, or you're just trying to live up, or someone who really can't rap like that, and you sitting here talking about someone ain't shit, and you're not even you're not even built like that to talk about what the fuck ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not even built like that. Be a motherfucker that's a cold ass MC. Be a what's shorty name? Maybe I know she's on that weird shit now, but what's she on that weird shit now? What's shorty name? The one that had the Move song when she first came out. She's underrated, but she spits her ass off. I think Doja Cat. So I know she got a lot of controversy with that people, man. I know people weird on that shit with the African shit and all that weird shit. But anyway, moving past that, she spits. She deserves to say what the fuck she want to say. Yeah. If she want to talk about some shit like that, you know what I mean? There's certain women out there that can say some shit. I think maybe now Glorilla is kind of earned that too a little bit because she got a little movement, she got shit going on. But you just can't come. It's like when 50 came out with How to Rob. That when he could rap, he was crafty, and he did How to Rob, and it was crazy. Yeah, that was a good. Sometimes shit get dead. You can't keep a nigga just can't come on, trying to do another How to Rob. That was his thing. It worked. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it moved forward. You know what I mean? When the kid, what's the kid's name? Hater. Mm-hmm. I use this for one of my songs. That I kind of like paid homage in a sense by saying that in one of my rhymes. He had on hit. It worked for him. Okay, cool. Next cat come out and be like on some shit similar to that where you know it's his shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. So I say that to say this. Sometimes when people try to hang on something and hoping that they can get on by what's the word for it? Like just jump on a train. Mm-hmm. Jump on the train of doing what everybody else is doing, thinking you're gonna get on because of that. Then I think that's mad corny. Yeah, I think it's mad corny. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Talk about positive shit. Talk about shit. If that's some people aren't from the streets. Listen, if it don't fit you, if it don't match you, if it don't fit you, don't talk about that. It's not who you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not. You're trying to be someone you're not. You know what I mean? You're trying to be this individual. It's a facade. Yeah. So, and again, like I said last interview, with hip hop, it's the most. With hip hop, it's the most out of any genre of music that people want to know who you're about. They want to know if you're about what you're talking about. Mm. So if I'm out here fronting and pretending, in a sense it's sad. Yeah. In a sense it's sad. And the reason I say that in a sense it's sad because like it goes back to where this hip hop was created and what we was talking about. We was talking about the ghetto. We was talking about hard times. We was talking about hard times in the coming up. domestic violence situations. You know, we was talking about the police brutality, all that stuff. Now we come into when we talk about this stuff. Now people are having their interpretation of what they went through. So we can't say someone's wrong for doing that because of the fact, even if someone talks about a gun. So you have to understand, if someone talks about a gun or talks about shooting, even if he is angry and makes this song about fuck these motherfuckers and shoot these motherfuckers, however slick he said, that's his, look at what King Von, right? That's all that nigga really talk about, right? You know what I'm saying? God bless the dead. But he had a way that moved a lot of people. And but wrong, right, or indifferent. Wrong, right, or indifferent. He had a way to move a lot of people to listen to what he's talking to, and people that can relate to it. Everybody that's mad at somebody first was hurt. When you're mad, anger doesn't start with just anger. It starts with being hurt first. Whether it's a parent or family member that passed away, if someone wronged you, it starts with hurt. Then you get angry. You know what I'm saying? And it could be embarrassment. It could be whatever. So once this happens, now you tell your story. So you went from now, like a lot of them Southern cats is always talking about a broad did them wrong or something like that. There's a lot. It's crazy. There's a lot of them cats. I think that my Marty was talking about the other day. What's his name? He's like, I don't even listen to this cat because every time I listen to this cat, he's talking about some broad disrespected him and some broad hurt his feelings and hurt. It's almost like a lot of the cats that's rapping down there is like hip hop country motherfuckers now. Like hip hop, it's like hip hop country. You know what I'm saying? Or hip hop blues or something like that. Anyhow, and that's why I say to move from that point right there. It's like that's why sometimes when I listen to cats, I have to think about, especially these new youngsters that's always talking about certain things he said, is what was it that made him feel that way to make him spit like that? What was it that made this cat feel this particular way to actually jot this down? Whether he's talking about in a way where he's hurt, whether he's talking about he's mad at somebody that did it, someone could have did something to his family member. So other people like us that's like, man, we want peace. I want peace. I'm from the streets. You know what I mean? I've been through some shit. And every blue moon I might write where I might go into that a little bit. I might dibble and dabble in that a little bit because that's what I'm feeling during the moment.
Yeah.
But
I get that. I'm referring more to like these guys are talking about like, oh, I'm in the hood, I came from nothing, you know, or they're talking about gun bars and this and that. And I'm like, bro, you got on Yeezys. You can't be living that part of a life if you got on $400 or $500, $600 Yeezys, you know what I'm saying? You rocking the North Face jacket and bro, that's not, I'm talking like it was to the point like growing up where like I didn't have Jordans, you know what I'm saying? I was wearing the $1999 shoes from Value Shoe Stores, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of lifestyle where it was like, man, I had to rock these shoes while everybody else was rocking Jordans and the new Allen Iversons and the Kobe's, and it's like, damn, man. I was like, Mom, can I get some of those? No, but you can get these $33 British Knights, you know what I'm saying? And so it was like, all right, cool, I guess I'll take those then, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's where for me, I'm just like, when they talk about like gun bars and stuff, I'm like, y'all thought it was cool because you went and got the gun, but you're not using the gun because you was like slinging in the projects and you was using it to protect yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because you had a couple bands in your pocket, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the fad nowadays is where it's like artists think it's cool to carry the gun and do all of that, but it's like, bro, you don't even have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that I don't mean to interrupt you. I think that I would have to actually know more about the individual as to the decision of why he did that or why he made that choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I was to sit here and just say because he has certain things that we didn't have when we was younger that he shouldn't be doing this, what the case may be. Who knows? Maybe he boosted it. Who knows? Whatever the case may be. It doesn't mean because you get food stamps one day and got a full refrigerator that it means you rich now. You know what I'm saying? That shit gonna run out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So them shoes gonna be curbed in a minute. You know what I mean?
True. But to your point though, it's like if you have food stamps, I don't hear rappers rapping about food stamps. I don't hear rappers talking about, hey, I went and took this EBT card, went to the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? Went and pulled a jug at the grocery store, and I got 8 packs of top ramen for 25 cents. You know what I'm saying? Because if they was talking like that, I'd be like, damn, bro, you pulled a jug with the EBT card, and you got 8 packs for 25 cents. Like, now you're talking crafty. Now you're saying something because you're still spitting your story, but you didn't have to talk about, oh man, I got an extended clip, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, you're still being true and authentic to yourself. You just telling it from what you went through. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
I got you.
We talk about that all day, but like, what, like,
Topics.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, what are your 3 topics that?
I usually try to talk about my upbringing, about how I went from incarceration to making stages, you know what I mean? And like how I turned it around, turned positive, you know what I mean? And I try to talk about like how you guys were talking about like when it comes to EBT and stuff like that. Like my mom didn't go buy my shoes, you know what I mean? Like I was wearing hand-me-down clothes, so I try to incorporate that into my music as well. And a lot of people can relate to it, you know? So that's one of the topics in it as well. Like I also try to incorporate like the new time of, I know you guys hate it, but what people like hearing now, you know what I mean? I try to put some of that in there, but not too much where it's overpowering the song, because at the same time I'm a storyteller, you know what I mean? And when I tell stories, I'm telling something that really happened, you know, because I really lived that life before. And now, you know, I might not, but I want you to feel the lyrics that I'm saying, especially I picked the specific beat to match that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way you're like, oh yeah, this is perfect, you know what I mean? But yes.
How did you learn to incorporate jazz into your music? Because that's kind of jazz is one of those things that like a lot of people, at least current day, don't really listen to jazz like that. So it's interesting to see how it's impacted your sound, and like you talk about it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that come about?
So growing up, I didn't have a TV, so we had like a radio, right? And my mom would only play a jazz station, which I'm pretty sure it was like from Seattle somewhere, you know, where they were playing jazz. But after hearing that, I really fell in love with it, like hearing it like all day, all night, you know what I mean? You naturally start getting comfortable with the sound, you know what I mean? And growing up, now I see that people's not incorporating any type of jazz whatsoever. I can't speak for every artist, God knows some use it, but they usually use samples. I want that raw, you know what I mean, sound, like I want something new. And that jazz, I bring it in, so every song I try to incorporate something, you know what I mean, from a piano to like, you know what I mean, like something like that. So. Did
you have a favorite like jazz artist?
No.
No,
I wasn't able to identify one person, but you know when jazz came on, I would just sit back. Honestly, I love hip hop. Don't get me wrong, I'm a rapper, you know, but I love jazz the most because I can mellow down and really have a breath of fresh air, you know, when it comes to that. So no in particular.
Wow. Man, there's so many things that like come to mind, like with like jazz, like you know, the reason I was asking was because I was wondering if you were more on like the Coltrane side versus like the Kenny G side, but we'll save that topic for a different day. But on a different note, it's been kind of bugging me for a while, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of dive in and talk about it. But I struggle right now with a lot of artists using AI. And everybody's like, hey, that's the new wave, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, cool, I get that. But for me, like, I don't do music for a fad. I don't do music because I'm trying to make money. I'm not doing it for popularity or fame. For me, it's about being original to my roots, which was I learned how to play the piano. I learned how to play the saxophone. I learned how to play the drums, the flute, the trumpet. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the jazz choir and the orchestra and the marching band. So for me, my background has always been music, which is why I understand musical theory. But a lot of artists are just like, oh, hey, well, this is current, you know, this is the new trend, and they're like, AI. And for me, I struggle with it because I'm like, I kind of feel like it's, and this is why I'm asking the question, because I almost feel like for me, I feel like it's almost kind of like a form of selling out, because it's like we have artists that are using AI and they're creating versions of themselves that don't look like them. We have artists that are like, man, I can't remember where I was. I was downtown Seattle somewhere. I think I was shooting Rep My City video. And I met this girl and, you know, she was like, oh, hey, I'm an artist. So I was like, oh, hey, you're an artist? Cool. Like, let's work together. And everything she did was AI. And I'm like, okay, so you're trying to tell me you don't sing the song. You didn't create the music behind it. It's not even the picture of you on it. But you want to tell me that you're an artist. Like, I feel like, me personally, like, it kind of bothers me to my core because I'm like, I feel violated that, like, someone who feels like, oh, because I can go type in a prompt on a computer to make my song, you know, and then want to call it the next anthem and they want to compete with me. I'm like, I take offense to that person because I'm like, you can't compete with me. I've spent years developing this project. I done spent years learning how to understand what a BPM is, the beats per minute, and how to count the beats per minute. I was the one who was digging through records to find that new record to break when I was a DJ, not, oh, hey, I just got this new playlist that tells me the top 25 songs in the country, and I just go out to a club and I just play it, and all of a sudden I'm a DJ. Get the fuck out of here with all that shit. Like, I take that shit personal, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm just out of pocket, but like
other people feel the way you feel. I seen a program where they was talking about when the AI first started coming out. I think they used AI Tupac and AI some stuff like that, where they said, you know, they AI some stuff where a couple artists had some, even Drake. It was a big thing with Drake too.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they AI me. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't feel like you feel, not because of the fact that I've been through what you've been through when it comes to learning how to read music and stuff, because I haven't. So what I will say is that I've had a lot of time to learn how to play music, piano, and I haven't. Piano, guitar, violin, all that. I actually was in violin class.
Me too.
Never did I learn how to use none of that. So for me, it'd be like cheating, like, okay, whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Although I don't. You know what I'm saying? I can see someone who likes music or enjoys music trying to use that way to do that. On the other hand, you going through it, you know what I'm saying, going through it and learning this stuff, and, you know, I can understand the pride that you take in what you know, so you learned that, you paid money for it, took long classes. Yeah, I can see you saying, hell no, you ain't. You know, Prince felt the same way you feel. I seen a show on Prince when he saw I was coming before he passed away, and he was like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's not the same. You are taking away a lot of things for someone who's actually part of what you go through to get up on stage and play your piano, DJ, rap, MC, breakdance, whatever you're doing. If someone just comes and says, okay, and now they're doing what you're doing, and they didn't even go through what you went through, yeah, it could be a little, you know, frustrating. You know what I'm saying? I think it's frustrating right now. They don't even look at when you look at hip hop or even breakdancing right now. They don't even show us no more really doing that when we, you know, Africans, so-called Americans, or blacks, or indigenous, whatever someone wants to be identified as, and Latin, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans created this. Dominicans, Puerto Ricans created this craft, this hip hop, this dance, this, you know what I'm saying, Caribbean people created hip hop. But now when you look everywhere else, everybody else, they only show them as if it's their craft. Mm-hmm. I feel some way about that. You know what I'm saying? I do every time I see something, you know, and I don't have nothing against nobody, but something that's not us doing it, they actually erase us from the whole, like it's not, like we don't do this. Like it's not, this didn't come from us. I feel some way, so I can understand where you feel, how you feel like, man, this is crazy. Just push a button right there, you got a whole hit right here.
Yeah, you know, I understand it's cool, but to me it's like, at some point as an artist, okay, I guess the analogy that comes to mind is like, if I was a Picasso, mm-hmm. right? Would I go on a computer, type in my prompts, and be like, oh, here's my picture, you know what I'm saying? And be like, look at me, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I did this. Really? Did you do that? Because all you do is type a couple of little, you know, couple
makes-
little
it's
strokes.
way
you know
less
what I'm saying?
value- it's way less value.
You know, you didn't learn how to use the art strokes and the finesse of the paint, and like, man,
What actually makes it
my
very
goodness.
special, yeah.
I was at the Puyallup or Washington State Fair this last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I met this artist, and I apologize, I don't remember his name. I remember what he looks like. It was this white guy. His paintings were phenomenal. And when you walk into his gallery, right, you know, because you think most pictures, you know, like they're just like, hey, you know, this is my picture, blah, blah, blah. But he was so passionate about it. He literally, he would walk up to his picture and he'd be like, oh yeah, this one I use raspberries and strawberries to create the red, and I use gold flake in this one, and I use blueberries, and I use mint leaves to make this color paint. And it was like, damn, bro, like here's an actual passionate person about, like, he's so meticulous about like the ingredients he uses to make the paint. Not even talking about the picture, like what inspired the picture, just to come up with the paints. It was like, it was refreshing to see someone with that like level of detail and enthusiasm about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I was like, because sometimes I feel like, man, I just feel like I'm out here in like left field, because I'm like, hey, you're outdated. Hey, you know, you don't really like AI. Hey, you're anti this, you're anti that. And it's just like, no, I'm really authentic to the craft of how you came about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we all got pet peeves, but I'm curious to hear what your pet peeves are in the music game. Because like, you know, for me, it's like sometimes I'm just like, who can I call and talk to about this? Because half the time, if I say something, people are just like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna just keep this one to myself. But I wish there was like people who had that level of enthusiasm and passion. Like, don't get me wrong, we're all passionate about music, but like, you know, like for example, if I'm talking about, you know, 3/4 time versus 4/4 time, or you know what I'm saying, or like, most people don't understand what I'm talking about, right? And so it's just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just change the subject because I don't want to get them all off on it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like there's I don't know, like maybe it's just different now, where like artists came up differently and they fast tracked it. You know what I'm saying? And so like I'm having to learn like not to be offended when they don't understand something, you know, but like.
Maybe you might want to think of it like when you first went to the studio, what kind of equipment they had. Reel to reel, ADATs, you know what I'm saying, MPC 60, MPC 3000.
Have you seen that new little MPC sample?
I just seen something that just showed a new MPC sample. I didn't look at it like, I did see it, but I wasn't like engaged in it like that. But I know they got something new out there. I think it was with Jermaine Dupri had it or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I think Jermaine Dupri just had, he was showing it all of his MPCs and stuff like that. So could you imagine right now, like I was just telling Intense from Too Bold, because she just started going to the studio. She hasn't been there in a while, and what kind of equipment was in there. And I was trying to tell her about the technology, because she was like, I wanted to go run through. Now just think about what you just said. I was going to run through it straight without messing up. Now back in the days when it was an 8-track and reel to reel and stuff, okay, that was some slick stuff. Mm-hmm. But you have technology now, and we're not in a contest to not have to punch in sometimes. We want the best quality. Mm-hmm. That's what this machinery is. You may not be able to hit that on time because of the sound or what you're trying to get out of it. Mm-hmm. What you're trying to get out of it, you may need to have a little bit of overlapping that you can't do naturally.
Right.
So she was trying to do some stuff like that, and I was trying to explain to her, like, this isn't a contest for you to see how slick you can rap without messing up on it. And she just kept messing up over and over and over and over again, and till it frustrated her that she felt like for whatever reason, and I'm not saying this is disrespect Intense, I'm just saying what transpired. But she learned a valuable lesson. Mm-hmm. You know, she learned a valuable lesson. This is what this technology is right now. What we're using for is right now to help with our quality of what we got going on. And she learned a lesson. So what I say is that why I bring that up is the fact what you had said about certain things when it comes to things changing and how we look at things, and people may look at it differently from their walk of life or what they experience. Whatever they experience, whatever their walk of life is, whatever the case may be. I remember a lot of times when certain things changed, when it was like, just imagine back in the days when you just seen the end of a movie, they had the New York cats in there that was tripping on them because of their styles and stuff, and they felt, of course, you know, New York cats, they really take pride in hip hop. They, you know what I'm saying, they really take pride into, this is our shit, when it's everybody's shit, it's all of us. But that's where it derived from. So don't take this engine out and just make it beautiful and colorful when the shit guts is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So that's all really what we saying, you know what I'm saying, hey man, kill this shit, make this shit dope, you know what I mean? And you have cats that are all over the world that rap now, and whoever where they're from feels that shit. So they're gonna take pride in that too, because wherever they're from may feel it, and then over here they may not feel it. The cats of Cali may not feel Texas. Texas may not feel Louisiana. Louisiana might feel not New York, whatever case may be, because everybody takes pride. I'm gonna keep 100. Just how a person delivers their message in their slang may throw me off sometimes. It may be fire, but just the slang alone, because I don't understand the slang or understand whatever's going on. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? And then as time goes by, I learn what they're doing, I learn what they got going. Okay, now I can kind of relate. Okay, I can relate now. Sometimes it just takes a moment to understand certain things. But I agree with you though. Sometimes it's just like, you know, you worked a lot, you worked hard for what you know, and for someone else to know what you know for a punch of a button. Someone knows exactly what you know and better by just pushing this button. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Everything you went through in your whole life, boom, hit record. That's crazy.
I would have to say for me, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to hip hop is the gatekeeping and fake energy that people bring. I personally don't like when artists, they meet a new artist or, you know, and they act like, oh, I like this person to this person's face. And then when the person turns around, it's like, oh, I really don't like them. I just like what they can do for me. You know what I mean? And to help me out. And then when it comes to the gatekeeping, you know, trying to act like you don't have these type of connections when you really do, and it can benefit both of you, you know what I mean? But you're scared of this person outshining you, so you keep, you know what I mean, your connections and whatever else, you know what I mean, to yourself, and now this person's left with what you gave them, and I mean, if it works out for them, yeah, that's great, but at the same time, you know, I feel like artists need to stop doing that. It's not a competition. It never was. You know what I mean? If you're passionate about music, then you're passionate about music just like that person. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people feel like it's a competition nowadays, and it's not. You know, there's enough industry for all of us.
It is a competition. That's part of one of the pillars of hip hop. You know, it's kind of rapping, battling. You know,
but what she's saying though is they're not battling. Like they're just. They just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand it. Yeah, if it's like, hey, Sos Dior is going up against Cutz, and we're trying to see who has the slickest wordplay. That's very different than like what she's referring to, if I'm not mistaken. Because like what you're saying is like, hey, like there's just people who just gatekeeping and like want to act like, oh,
I agree with her what she said, but the conversation just kind of threw me off because I've been in a situation before, and I'm not meaning to cut you off, but you know what I'm saying? There's been, like, for instance, I asked a cat, look, I seen someone that was at an event, didn't know his name or nothing. Your guy. I contacted him. You know this guy? I want him to do a show. Oh, man. He didn't even know the guy. He didn't even know the guy, but he's going to go try to find out what's going on with this guy so he can be the middleman of what I'm trying to do with this guy. It's crazy. Like, you know, so you want to be the middleman, and now I can't make this move for this cat because you stopped me from even asking other people because you made it seem as if you had to connect with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? So that's, you know, another thing that stopped me from even growing to make something pop off, all because you want to be the guy and you're far from the guy. Just give me the dude's number if you got the number. If you don't got to say I don't got the number, well, okay, now I got to be the guy. Maybe I can make some money off this. Maybe I can. Oh man. Yeah. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree because like, the problem with music for me is like everybody's trying to get somewhere, but they're not willing to admit that they're not there yet and allow someone else to be like, hey, I need help. I need help trying to do this, or I need help trying to do that. And so to them, they don't want to come off as like not knowing, So they're just like, oh yeah, oh yeah, well, and then they want, it's like you said, like they're gatekeeping or they're standing in the way trying to be the middleman instead of just saying, hey, I don't know. Hey, well, why don't we go work together to figure it out? You know what I'm saying? It's like we lose the humbleness because it's like, oh, I gotta be the man, I gotta be the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because switching subjects, but kind of still on the same topic. I kind of noticed it a little bit the other day because there was a versus that happened. I don't know if you guys have heard about it with 2x Tim and OG Mambo, and it was kind of that same kind of vibe almost where it was like, oh, I do this and I do that and I've been doing it for this long, and there was a lot of, for me it was like, what is the purpose of the battle? Is the battle to showcase like, hey, here's my best like portfolio of work, and therefore I'm showing like I'm a better artist? Or was this really just kind of like, oh hey, I'm just here to do whatever, and kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, I kind of got lost with what the message was that they were trying to bring by doing this versus battle. Because for me, it was like, even the comments, right? The comments were super derogatory. And it's like, as a hip hop community, it's like, are we here to tear the person down? Or are we saying, or are we willing to say, hey, I don't like this song, but this is why. Hey, I don't like this song because the beat's not catchy enough. Or hey, I don't like this song because what you're talking about on the record doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And like, for me, it's like, I feel like, I don't know, and maybe this is just because I'm an old soul, but for me, it was kind of like, truthfully, I've always wondered who I would do a versus against. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do a versus because I feel like, man, I've got all my bases covered. I've got EDM, I've got rock, I've got country, I've got all this music that I want to share with the world. So I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for someone to say, hey, so let's do a versus. But at the same point, then I'm like, when I see it, I'm just like, do I really want to put myself out there? I don't have a problem with rejection. The reason I've gotten to where I'm at is from listening to the rejection. Oh, I don't like your song because it doesn't have 808s. I don't like your song because you're not spitting about money and cars. I don't like your song because this. I've taken all of that rejection and I've used it to transform my music to where now I have an entourage of different topics that I can talk about. But for me, it was more, it just came across as like just being super negative. And it was like, as a fan of hip hop music growing up, listening, I remember the first time I heard hip hop music and where I was at and what I was doing and where I was going.
Where's you at?
I was in Skyway. I had just got off of work. I was working at Video Vault, and sure enough,
the first time you heard some hip hop?
Yeah, I bought my first CD. Well, I bought two. It was Ice Cube, Lethal Injection, and Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999.
Okay.
And so I was walking home. I had my headphones on. It was pitch black dark, and I'm listening to East, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I'm starting to think there's people following me because I'm hearing the voices in my head in my headphones. You know what I'm saying? But like, to me, it was like I just felt like the negativity was so overwhelming from watching that versus battle. I didn't want to watch it anymore. And like, for me, I was like, as a fan of hip hop music, whether I liked it or I didn't like it, I just felt like it left me with like an empty stomach almost, because I felt like, man, like, is this what hip hop has come to, that we will tear a person down so badly for no reason at all? Because we're not even saying why we don't like it. We're just like, oh, I don't like this. This is shit. Well, why is it shit? Are you telling the artist why it's shit so that the artist can go back and correct it? You know what I'm saying? And like, just the comment, like, I don't know if you got that impression, but I just felt like, like the commentary just, it left me just going like, I'm starting to really fall out of love with hip hop. Like, like I liked going to shows and watching artists perform and, actually perform the song, not rapping over their lyrics. And man, I gotta share this. There was a time I was in Canada and I paid $35 for this ticket. I had $40 left to my name, so I spent $35 of the $40 I had left to my name to go to this artist showcase, right? And the headliner comes out, and they drop the beat. It wasn't a performance track, so it had his vocals on it, and he was like rapping. He would rap like 2 words. He'd stop rapping. The song's still playing. Then he'd rap 2 more words and song stops. You know, and it was like that the whole entire time. And then he says after the end of the song, he's like, oh, you know, my bad, you know, I got so drunk and high, you know, right before I went on stage, you know, I forgot the lyrics to my song and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I just spent the last $35 to my name to come to watch this show, and this is what you're gonna do? This is how you're gonna leave us, like, with this shitty ass performance? Like, I felt violated. Like, you just robbed me of my money. You know what I'm saying? Like truthfully, like, I wanted to go fight him and his whole entourage, because I was like, man, fuck y'all. Like, I want my $35 back. Like, give me my money back, because I ain't pay for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a broke ass motherfucker, and I'm trying to support y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you gonna do, and then you laugh about it and act like this is just shits and giggles. Like,
shits and giggles.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just felt like, I feel like sometimes, like, we lose that level of professionalism and like, hey, I want to put on the best show ever. Like, because truthfully, it's almost like a versus. If there would have been another artist who came out there, you would get clowned, because you'd have been like, hey, bro, like, homeboy just killed you on your own show. You know what I'm saying? But when you're like the only one doing it, then it's just like, it's whatever, right? But like, I fil like that's kind of how the versus battle left me feeling. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
I mean, like how I feel about any verses. You know, I feel like people pick and choose. Like, they send whoever came up with the idea for the verses. You know what I mean? They pick and choose who they need there to comment and share. You know what I mean? And vote on who the best artist is. And it's like, at that point, is it really a versus? Because, you know what I mean, this other artist is coming and they're like, they got true fans that's coming. Person don't know this person's music, and then they hear it and they're like, oh shit, you know, they were way harder than me. But then you got this huge entourage of people, you know, that's, oh yeah, no, he was way better by far. And like you said, it's crazy to me, because it's like, is it even, what's the topic about? What's the verses even about? You know, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and truthfully, like, that was one thing I wish, like, Tone and those guys would have done differently was, you know, they were playing song after song, but I felt like it would have been a better opportunity if they said, okay, hey, show me your best song about money. Hey, show me your best song about women. Hey, show me your best song about cars. And like, you're going back and forth about different topics and seeing who had the better song, as opposed to, hey, let's just perform song and just go back and forth on songs. Because I kind of got lost, because I was like, at one point it was like one artist had 3 songs that talked about money, and I was like, okay, cool, like, I got it. Like, there's 11 rounds, but 3 of the songs were about money. Like, there's so many things that we could talk about. Why are all these songs about money, as opposed to, hey, maybe I have a song about a Gucci bag, hold the money. Maybe I have a song about the grocery bag that I went to the grocery store with to use to go get the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, different concepts that would fall kind of in the same category, as opposed to like the same category like over and over and over again. You know, but that's, like I said, I'm just different. I take this stuff very personal. So like, for me, like, I like artists like Henny, who takes the time to like incorporate the jazz into her music, because nobody's doing that. You know what I'm saying? And like, your sound is very unique, and like, that's why I really was like, yo, like, I want to work with her, because it's like, she's so different and she has her own sound. She's not copying the trends that are out there, you know what I mean? And like, I have a lot of respect for that, because, you know, like, a lot of artists, I feel like either they don't know it or they just don't have it, and they're just kind of weaving through, you know, the traffic. But, you know, but with that being said, what's next on the plate for you guys?
We have a few things.
Okay. Oh, so going back, you guys got the Yaya remix.
Yeah.
You know,
Yaya remix with,
when is that gonna drop?
Rod Player Rod, Too Bold, Intense and Young Rider, CCP Buddha, it's her brother. DJ Hove is hosting the song. Okay. I mean, so we got that going on. The video should be getting finished editing tonight.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, is that when we had the remix.
So we should expect it out by summer?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. It's gonna be out real soon. Yeah.
Before summer.
Yeah, before then. We have the remix to Most Hated, Seattle's Most Hated. It's called Most Hated Remix. Okay. And when does that one come out? We do the video the 19th of April. Okay. So the video is the 19th of April for that.
All right. So not to cut you off, but I gotta ask a question because I'm all about the drama and the controversy.
Okay, word up.
Who has the better verse on the song?
Talk to her.
Ooh. Y'all see how they try to add me
To be continued.
Talk to her.
Okay. So as you were saying, so we got the remix coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, let her tell you about that. Let her tell you about it. Because I wanted to be on that song. I love that song.
Wait, so that's because you were saying earlier that was a song that once you heard it, you couldn't unhear it.
I couldn't unhear
it. And so the only way to unhear it was by you like spitting the verse on it so that you could hear yourself on it.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna keep 100. I don't like to impose on people's songs.
Yeah.
And like I do a lot of remixes for people, like for Rock. Me and Rock do a lot of remixes. So while we're doing Rock's album, there's been songs that I put a verse on as I put Hove on there, and there's songs that I decided not to get on. Not that I didn't want to get on it, I just thought it didn't need me, or I thought I wouldn't do the song no justice. It really didn't need anybody on it, let alone myself. So with Henny in this particular song. There's some things that I think one day we was going somewhere and I spit a verse while the song was on. She's like, "Yep," if I'm not mistaken. I wanted on, but how did it happen? How did it happen? Because I wanted on the song. I thought it'd be cool to be on the song. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to. And I think something happened to where she wanted me on the song too. I can't remember what triggered you want me on the song as well. So I guess she can tell you what triggered her saying, "Yeah, I want you on the song." So she can go from there.
So I'm gonna have to put you out the room. He didn't like one of my verses on the song "Seattle Can Take It," right?
What?
And
Okay.
the end he didn't like some of the words I was saying on it. He felt like I could have used something else, and but when he was rapping,
Explain that. I'll explain it. Go ahead.
when he was rapping, I was like, "Oh, that'd be dope! Like you sound great on this song already." You know what I mean? And he's not even on the mic doing it. So, and I'm able to imagine how a person would sound. I don't have a lot of features on any of my songs. Really, I don't have any remixes to my songs. So this was the first remix. And when he started rapping, I was like, "Oh, that's fire!" And he had wrote something else, and I was like, "Oh wait, hold on, you know what I mean? Hold on, stop everything real quick. I like that one, you know what I mean?" And he started doing it more and more, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta have you on a remix. Like, if anybody's gonna be on a remix, I want it to be, you know what I mean?" And again, I don't have nobody on any of my remixes.
So is that by personal choice, or is
Yes.
that more just okay?
Personal choice.
I didn't even know that. I'm just finding out right now.
Okay.
I'm just finding out right now because I take pride on anybody liking my bars. I have a lot of people that know I can spit. I can spit. You know what I mean? But sometimes people, I don't know, maybe it's the younger generation, I don't know what it is. So when someone has that IQ of hip hop and knows about crafty wordplay, some people don't even care about it. They just say bag of sugar and they're good. Bag of sugar. Oh, I said bag of sugar. You know what I'm saying? But one thing is that, sometimes when people, because she has a nice little wordplay too. She knows how to mix it up too. So sometimes people appreciate listening to that. People appreciate. So it's rare. It's been a long time since I heard a woman go, "Oh man, you killed that shit." You know what I'm saying? Like it's a dude. Like like it's a dude right next to you. Like we sipping on beer. Like you killed that shit. So I appreciated her digging it. So even sometimes like, "Damn, you like that?" She's like, "Yeah, that shit was fire." You know what I mean? So I dig that. Kind of like, it's almost like we sitting up in a we sitting up in a man cave. They're sitting up in a man cave, and you know what I'm saying, and two dudes just like when I listen to her spit, it's like I'm like a dude, me and another dude spitting. You know what I mean? It's not like so that's why I'm like okay. So when I really appreciated it coming from her, from someone who likes bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I'm to this point where I'm just like, I don't think half the world will ever understand my bars, and if they do, it'll be like 10 years from now. Because
why would they not understand your bars?
Like I've had people tell me to my face like I'm weak and all this, and I'm like, do you actually listen to what I'm saying? Because the only way, a lot of times, like I'll have a song called "Break the Record," right? and like I'll play it for artists, and I don't care about the fans. I only show it to artists, right? Because I'm like, hey, check this out. Tell me what you think. And I'm waiting for the reaction, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, it was cool. I said, yeah, you weren't listening. Because if you was listening, you're going to have a reaction one way or the other when you hear it, right? Because in the first verse, I use the alphabet and I go from A to Z. And then the second verse, I go from Z to A. So you can't just be like, oh yeah, it was cool. Because if you heard what I did, you'd have been like, damn, bro, you went from A to Z in 16 bars, but there's 26 letters in the alphabet. Like, once you start thinking about it, you're like, oh shit, bro, that shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have a reaction towards it. You know, like I just did a verse the other day, right? And I said, the bars cut so deep, it will kill off whole genealogies. I'm King George III, my legacy's all presidency. Like, most people is like, oh yeah, it was cool. You ain't saying nothing slick. And I'm like, damn, bro, are you listening to what I'm saying? Because if you are, you've been like, hold on, bro. Like, hold on. You was just talking about, see, because the reality of it is they don't do their research, right? They don't know who King George III is. They don't know that every president we've had except for 2 is part of his bloodline, right? And I'm saying my bars cut so deep, it'll kill off your whole genealogy. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not until like I start breaking down the bars that they go, oh shit, yeah, that shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? And they just treat it like, oh yeah, it's whatever. You know, he ain't slick. Oh yeah, you weak. All right, guy, I got you later. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so like truthfully, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. I take offense when I don't get asked to be on features and remixes. You know, because I'm like, man, like it's like
What
you
you
said.
talking about? Okay, so you didn't have to do that because you, me, and Marty was just about to do something. Then you said, I'm just gonna do the hook.
Well, no. That was because I was trying to make it so that
It wasn't even a remix, it was a fresh cut.
you know what I'm saying? But like trying to keep the song like not being three verses long. You know, like I was like, hey, I'll do the hook so I can be a part of it. But that way we can all spit on the track and not have it be like. Because I'll be honest, man. Like I hear songs now that are like 3 and 4 verses. I'm like, it just feels like a run on because, especially when the rappers ain't saying nothing. If they was saying something like one mic, right? Nas one mic. That song's like 5 minutes, but you don't get bored of it. But you hear like some of these newer rappers, I'm like, dang, like 4 minutes seems like fucking forever.
Well, I haven't asked you to be on a remix. I want to do something original.
Yeah.
Start something, you know what I mean? And I feel like, especially how you rap, I've heard some of your music, you know what I mean? I complimented you on it. I was like, yo, that shit fire. Like, you know, and immediately I was like, yo, I need to come up with something where 1, it's original, right? And 2, I can not only match the style but stay on the same topic. You know what I mean? I don't want you talking about one thing and then I'm like, oh yeah, well, yada yada, and you're like, hold on. You know what I mean? And when people hear it, they're like, okay, and then now the music sounds all fine. You know, I want to be on the same topic, same energy, you know? So,
I want to add jazz to it too.
yeah.
Like jazz is one of those things where for me it's like, I have an artist, a buddy of mine, and he always says, he's like, you know you're a good MC when you can rap over jazz music. And like, I'm like, huh, okay, say less, I got you. I'm like, man, I'm about to pull out some John Coltrane or something and just like put a whole track to it because I'm just like, you're challenging me. You're challenging my authority to rock this mic, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't going out like that. I got to do something for it. But with that being said, I know we're probably getting close to time.
Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
No Respect. That's a song we have coming out too.
No Respect.
It's
Okay.
called No Respect's crazy.
No Respect.
It's crazy.
Seattle's Most Hated.
Yeah.
Most Hated the remix.
Oh no, Seattle's Most Hated is already out.
Right, but the
Most
remix.
Videos are a video on there.
Okay. And was it Yaya? Did you guys call it the Yaya remix
It's
or
called the
what did
Yaya
you-
remix.
Okay. So outside of that, what if there's anything else that you guys want the fans to know about coming up in the next month or two? Speaking of which, you're going to New York?
I am.
Okay.
I'm moving to New York soon.
Okay.
And I'm really excited about that, but I'm trying to make sure that I meet all these great artists and, you know, brands and stuff out here in Seattle, because before I even came up with the idea to move out there, I didn't know there was anything out here, unfortunately. Like, I knew there was grunge music and I knew there was a hip-hop scene, but I didn't know how big it really was, you know? And
Yeah.
now that I'm leaving, I'm seeing
You're like,
it,
you're
I'm
just getting warmed up to it now. You're like, all right, this is I'm out. I'm going to the cake. I'm going to the Big Apple.
But nah, I'm definitely going to come back, you know, and still work with everybody, because There's thousands of great artists out here, you know, and I feel like the Pacific Northwest is being slept on a lot, you know, because you got Texas, Atlanta's, and all these, you know,
Super artists,
yeah.
yeah.
So I definitely need to come back and still work with everybody. Cause
Okay, so outside of, put you on the spot.
Yeah.
So outside the GMC clique, top 3 artists out of Seattle, Pacific Northwest that you would like to work with.
I would love to work with Mike Jack, for
Mike Jack,
one.
okay.
2, I would like to work with, what is his name? Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm trying
Put
to
you on the spot, yeah.
Yeah. What is his name? He sings, I can't even think of his name, but
Singer from out here?
yeah. What is,
Legacy Jones?
no,
Ronnie B?
no. He's not big. He's not a
Okay.
big one, you know, but I think his name is Romeo or something like that. It's something
Okay.
like that, okay? And then 2, for the Pacific Northwest, I'm going to have to, oh wait. Honestly, I'm going to have to just look into it more when it comes to the third one.
Okay, okay,
'Cause,
okay.
you know, again, everybody has their own style and stuff, and I need to find somebody I can match with. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily that they're bad or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I want to make sure, I'm on the same topic, same vibe, same energy, you know, so, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
got to look into that.
So Cutz, how about you?
Man,
Outside of the GMC clique, because I know you're
Outside
working
the
with a
GMC.
lot of artists. He works with a lot of artists. So with that being said, if you had to pick top 3 artists that you would feature right now, not part of GMC.
I think I already worked with him.
I know that's right.
Okay. Well, it doesn't count if you already worked with them.
Okay, damn.
3 that you haven't worked with.
3 that I haven't worked with. Me and Larry Love's about to do something. I haven't worked with him.
Okay.
We about to do something. We've been talking about doing something for a minute. What's up, Larry Love, hard hitter?
Yeah. Okay.
So me and Larry Love is about to put something together. We've been talking about putting something together for a minute. This
Like
is our-
promotion wise or like rapping wise?
actually rapping.
Okay. Okay.
Actually
Larry
rapping.
Love rapping. Okay.
Yeah. Larry Love. If I don't say a name, somebody say that's messed up. You say my name, but I already worked with him.
Right. Yeah.
I worked
Yeah.
with-
If he's already worked with you, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
It has to be
yeah.
someone brand new he's never
Let's
worked
see.
with. So we got Larry Love.
Bro, I work with a lot of people.
I know.
I'm trying to think who I want to work with. Okay. Oh, Sarcastic.
Sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarcastic. So Sarcastic has a situation going on with I don't know exactly what it is, but he has health issues, so he hasn't been able to spit like for a while.
Okay.
But Sarcastic was the cat I told you about. Sarkast.
Yep.
Sarcastic. He was the one I told you about that me and him was locking down the Contour back in the days. You know, and he's the one I told you had that song. I'm right here. So you remember last time we didn't get to put up in this, so I'm gonna make sure he knows. Because last time we watched the whole interview and stuff like that. But Sarcastic was a monster, and we never had a chance to really work together. So, but we know each other. We have a lot of respect for each other. We just never had a chance to work with. So Sarcastic,
Okay.
Larry Love, and who else do I know out there that spit that I haven't had a chance to work with? Again, you know, I'm not saying your name. Again, I know I work with a lot of you cats out there, man, and we already did a track too. You know what I'm saying? We still want to do more. Damn it.
Well, for
You know
some-
what? Hey, you know what? Holly. Rock. What's Shorty's name? Holly something.
Okay.
Holly Michelle?
Oh, okay.
Holly
Okay.
Michelle. Yeah, Holly. I want to do something with Holly Michelle. We'll put a shorty up in there. And Rock already got a connection on that.
Yeah.
So Holly Michelle, Larry Love, and Sarcastic.
Okay. So Sarcastic, we're gonna reach out to you. Larry Love, you already know what it is. Holly Michelle, we're gonna be looking for you. But until then, that's this episode of the Chop It Up podcast. Until next time, you know who it is and what it is. We're out.
Hey, shout out to my bro, Maestro Jones. Maestro Jones, my brother.
We out of here. All right, y'all, you know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Sos Dior. This is my favorite part of the show where we get the live mic drop performance from our artists that hit the stage. Tonight we got special guest GMC in the building. We got my man Antonio Cutz and none other than the infamous Henny Z. We were about to rock out to the new song called Seattle's Most Hated, the remix, and we bring in the heat. Let's go!
Yo, what the fuck is good, y'all? It's GMC and Sos invited me here to pop my shit, so we're gonna do exactly that. You already know how this shit go. I'm on a long road, searching for a way out. My niggas will die for this gang shit. My brother earned his way out. We're suicidal, the ops are suicidal. Suicidal, the ops are suicidal. She said if it's unconditional, where the love been? I belong to my thoughts, promise the love's here. You just gotta be patient, I know you sick of waiting. Lonely nights with a text, I know your heart's been aching. And man, I hate it, but I'm grinding so we both can make it. I think about you every day, I was never faking. Don't wanna change you, but I have to, cause these streets are dangerous. Can I be playing? I'ma text you when I can, so just wait for me. Cause your love's what got a nigga going. Nightmare to the streets, these niggas out here blowing. Was feeling hopeless how I met you, I'm so glad you noticed. Remaining focused with a purpose, you wanna see me shine. I'll back door, take everything that's mine. We hit that nigga with a shot, he should've known that time. Fuck I ain't crying, it's okay, mama, wipe your eyes. I know it's hard to accept the pain, but I'm on a long road, searching for a way out. My niggas will die for this gang shit, my brother earned his way out. We're suicidal, the ops are suicidal. Suicidal, the ops are suicidal.
Be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. All these tattoos on my arm and said no love for a bitch. I'm murder for the capital, niggas strangle snitch. Hit you with them heaters, make me see how bitch. I simply automatic, how I pointed at your sister. Got you playing twisted, how I get you out your shit, sir. See, I got you trained like you a by shower schnitzer. Nigga, I'm a mixture of the heavy compound fixture. I leave your face, nigga, the front, they nothing of it. Look at man straight in the face, like yeah, we love it. Hard clubs and clutter with steals and kitchen covers.
Can't stop keeping it
The
real.
bitches love it, I'm dumbfounded. I had life and I'm still grounded. Kids are eating millions all, but I still felt like surrounded by niggas and knocking socks off.